4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovey offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
With Snooks and Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
I'm Lovey. And
welcome back.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with the Married into Crazy podcast, first off,
sorry,
we cough into the microphones all the time.
Wow. Okay.
No. Look, for those of you that have been with us, thank you for rocking with us since 2018. For those of you that are new to the podcast, we're a couple that's been married for 28 plus years. And we've been through some things. Mm-hmm. We talk about this every week. But to give you a quick synopsis, we met on a blind date. It wasn't a blind date.
Okay. I see. I don't even need to say it because it wasn't a date. But
now, we were tricked into meeting each other.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And she thought I was a nerd, told everybody I was not her type.
I didn't tell everybody, but okay.
4 months later, we were engaged.
Yep.
And then her ex-boyfriend
5 days
attacked
after
her in her home while I was there, ended up getting stabbed through my heart.
Yeah.
And then we went through that process. I didn't die. Spoiler alert. And
2 open heart surgeries later.
2 open heart surgeries later, we got through everything and then finally said I do. So all that took place
within a year.
And then 4 years later, she said, I want a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Demanded a divorce.
Okay.
And so we had to find our way back from that. We went through a lot of different things. We went through coaching, read some books. What are you laughing at?
Nothing, because one day we're going to do a podcast on why that's shocking that I asked for a divorce. But continue.
She's mean.
I'm not mean.
That's why she asked for a divorce.
Wow.
No,
okay.
But see, this is our banter. We do this all day with camera, no camera, whatever. But we went through a lot of things, and we decided that we needed to become that couple that we needed when we were going through our hard times. Mm-hmm. Marriage isn't easy. Marriage is absolutely wonderful, but it isn't easy.
Right.
And if you're not prepared for it, you don't have the right people around you at times. If you haven't built your iron tribe,
mm-hmm.
as we call it, because as iron sharpens iron.
We as couples should be sharpening each other.
And that's what this podcast is about. Us attempting to show how we've been sharpened, but also attempt to sharpen you, to bring you guests, to bring you other couples, subject matter experts that aid in sharpening our swords to make sure that we're exactly who we need to be for this covenant. So that's what we do. So before we go any further, do us a favor, wherever you're listening to us or watching, if you're on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, but also leave a comment. Let people know why you're enjoying the podcast or one of the previous episodes. And then you can always go over to marriedintocrazy.com and give a look at our website. There's a lot of different ways that we pour into marriages across the world. And there's a few of them that are there. And it's not the last thing, is it? We got a lot of different ways. If you want coaching on the go, coaching in your pocket when it comes to your marriage, you can go to the App Store or Google Play and download the Married into Crazy app. So there's lots of different things that you can do that can benefit your marriage.
The last thing, is that where you were going to go? So we have our dates. I believe we told y'all that we have our dates and everything for the 2026 Marriage Winter Ball and Conference. It's been solidified, and the tickets are going to be on sale October 11th. The registration opens up Saturday, October 11th, which is coming up in a few days. If you missed it last year, you don't want to miss it. I said last year. It was actually this year. Sorry. If you missed it earlier this year, you want to make sure you go on and get your tickets now, because we are going to have a ball like we did in February. Everyone who came, they absolutely loved it. And I felt they were very sincere when they said it to me when I had my fist and they're not playing.
No, we've actually reached out to a bunch of couples that did attend and asked, if there's anything positive that you can share or
did
negative.
A survey.
What's your feedback?
Yeah, we did an after fact survey.
And so there's quite a few very positive comments that came in that we're going to be using on social media to share. And it was fun. We had Dr. Eric Thomas as our guest. He was our special guest, and he tore it down. But we also had some other amazing speakers as well, like Eva Palacios, like Cloyce and Sheila Dickerson, Terrell and Courtney Muhammad. Those are just an amazing group. So an amazing group, I should say a lineup of speakers. And this year we've got just as incredible speakers. We've got Joel Kibble from the musical group, the 10-time Grammy Award winning Joel Kibble from Take Six, who's also a divorce recovery coach. Mm-hmm. So Joel will be gracing us with his knowledge.
Well, he won't be talking about divorce, though.
No.
At a marriage conference. But
there's a lot of different things that
go into it.
He's in a very successful, loving, amazing marriage right now to his beautiful wife, Tina. And there's, so anyway, he's got a lot to share. Mm-hmm. We've got Mavis McKnight, sexologist, who some of you may have seen on the podcast, but she's got so much information and it's hard to get it all into a podcast. So we're actually going to have her come up and visit us. So she's going to be at the conference as well. And then we also have a special surprise for Devon and Sinclair Walker are going to be there as well. They are the creators of Black Wall Street, the board game. Mm-hmm. Very successful entrepreneurs that are going to be coming in and sharing as well. Mm-hmm. And of course, yours truly will be there.
Hello, we'll be there. So let me just say this really quick. Real quick. I'm excited about the lineup, about everyone who's coming, but the responses that I've been getting about, you think not Joey, not everyone is excited to see Mavis.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is excited to see Mavis. And maybe it's because, sex is such a big, important part of our marriages. And a lot of people maybe have some questions. They may have some concerns that they may not feel comfortable voicing in talking about to other people. Mavis is very down. She is very open. She's very transparent, and she holds no punches. It's real grown folks talk. So if you ever have any questions, especially about...
You know what we'll do?
What?
I'm going to alter the registration. By the time registration opens up this upcoming Saturday, I'm going to add in a survey question. So that way you will be able to ask a question. If there's anything, we'll keep it anonymous. I mean, of course, because it's going to be attached to your registration.
We're going to be like, Daryl wanted to know.
The only people that would know where the question came from will be us. And as a matter of fact, it'll be blinded. Once the question actually comes in, it'll just be thrown into, it won't have any names, but it'll just be thrown into a pot, so to speak.
What if I have a question, though?
For people to actually, so that way she can address certain things as well. If there's a topic that rises to the top that it seems like everyone's asking about, we want to make sure that we're meeting your needs, your desires, to ensure that we're answering your questions. Yeah. So we're going to actually throw that in there as well.
You're welcome.
But let's move on with
I'm on a fist bump.
This episode.
Ow.
So it's October.
It is October.
And, it's going to be one of those things where we're going to, fall back?
I can't wait to fall back.
Yeah. So the time change is coming up for those of us, depending upon what state you're in.
Yeah, but I don't think it's coming up till, it's for a minute anyway. But with the time change, I feel like we know when seasons change, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the visible things that we see. It starts getting cooler. It starts getting darker earlier. If we're looking at the trees, we're seeing different colors in our landscape. So,
yeah, people are changing their wardrobes. Everything's happening.
I forgot about that.
Everything's happening. Food, Starbucks is coming out with the pumpkin spice latte. People freak out this time of year just to line up and get that drink. I don't see the draw, but that's just me. I'm not a pumpkin person.
Me either.
But but the seasons are changing.
My lemons are coming in. Woo.
So there's a lot of
wait.
Gardens are shifting. Like I have to actually replant some things for the winter and the fall. So there's a lot that's happening. But that also happens in our marriages.
Yeah.
There are different seasons within our marriage as well. I mean, we've touched on this in different areas, but I think it bears discussion for us to discuss what that means. Because it's different for every single couple. So,
and just kind of like you're saying, we have talked about it, but what are the visible changes that you see, the shifts in, what are you laughing for?
Oh, so you said, what do I see? Gravity?
I mean, that is one thing, but I meant like more of a, what do you see changing, like in communication or what have you? So I feel like during summertime, we were more footloose, fancy free. now our conversations have shifted, right? So we're going into the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you're talking about hitting goals, a lot of times people, okay, fourth quarter, what are we doing? Going into this quarter. So now we're shifting and we're changing our topic of conversation. For those of us that have children like ourselves, we are back on schedules for school. Who's picking up? Who's doing this? We didn't have those type of conversations that we had to talk about. So what do you see that's changing? And at times it may seem like those are the type of conversations that are taking over. Like, oh, the passion's gone because now all we're talking about is household stuff. Whose responsibility is it to do this? Lovey just said earlier, I got to take the garbage out. I mean, that's an ongoing thing, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And it does. There's a shift that's actually taking place. I mean, and let's not forget that because we're in the latter part of the year and, the light and it's getting darker earlier, all these things, this is when depression really sets in. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not the topic for the day, talking about seasonal affective disorder, but it does shift the mood to a certain extent. There's all the holiday festivities. There's couples like us that have lost, loved ones, whether it be children, siblings, what have you, that when you get around the holidays, you have a tendency to think, you start to reminisce about the times that they were there, and then you kind of focus on a little bit. You try not to too much, but that they're not here anymore. So it really does. It actually affects the climate and the temperature of the conversations you have. But I think from a marriage standpoint, that when you get into this time of year, one of the most important things to me that needs to be discussed is what the heck is going on the bed when it comes to electric blankets and comforters. What you laughing at? This is real talk. Look, fellas, you know what I'm talking about, right? She gonna put like 3 comforters and an electric blanket.
That's not true. So our youngest daughter's, her nickname is the Dramatic. Meet the predecessor, the Dramatic. Oh my gosh, that is so dramatic. It's not 3 comforters.
For the fellas out there listening, y'all like, he ain't playing?
Okay, y'all dramatic too if y'all believe that. Anyway, you made me forget what I was going to say.
No, but there are conversations that need to take place. Look, when you're in different seasons in your marriage, it doesn't matter if you're like, I feel like it's an age thing. It depends on where you are in that timeline of your life. Because I think that couples that are younger, let's say you're in your 20s or your early 30s or what have you, I think the conversations you have, regardless of what season it is, calendar-wise, it's more about the season of your life. And there's lots of planning. There's lots of hopes, aspirations, trying to figure things out, the opportunity to make mistakes so you can learn from them and continue to grow. In the middle, it's like, okay, you know what? We've made some mistakes. We've learned some things. Now it's for us to truly execute. And then for those of us that are a little bit older, that are like, you know what? We're starting to thinking about retirement. And the latter part of our lives, and to make sure that we're going to be able to enjoy. We've done the mistakes, and we still make a few. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but we've done some perfecting of certain things. But we're also at the point, it's like, okay, so how do we reap those rewards and hold on to those things? And it's not just about the monetary and the financial things. It's also about how do I reap the rewards of all the growth that we've had in our relationship? So there's a variety of different things that we could actually get into. So
I want to put a spin on, if I can. I don't even know if it's going to be considered a spin, but when we think about, like we talk about landscape and things that are changing, this is the time of year where we see the leaves on the grass, all the grass is covered in leaves and stuff like that, even if they're different colored. But that's a necessity, right? That's a necessary for them to fall off or whatever. So what in your relationship should fall off?
Ooh, that's a great question. So as the leaves are falling, what should fall off?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to repeat the question.
I was going to say there's certain expectations that should fall off. And
fall away.
And it just depends. It really does depend on the season that you're in, that timeline again that we're talking about. If you're younger, maybe it's like some of the expectations that, I thought marriage is going to be like this. Maybe there's some expectations that you brought in that were unrealistic. because it was based off of, the latest romantic comedy movie that you saw. Or maybe it was some of those things that you saw, the relationship you saw your brother, your uncle, your parents, your neighbor, people that you respect, or people that you had a misguided idea of what marriage was going to be, how he or she is supposed to respond and move. But maybe as we get older, in the latter parts, some of the expectations we should let fall like leaves are perhaps, okay, well, I remember when we used to get buck naked in the middle of the room and, we were having sex on the washing machine, in the downstairs bathroom, on the stairs, on the kitchen table, all that. And it's like, you know what? I'm tired. Let some of those expectations change. Testosterone goes down, estrogen levels change, hormone levels change. There's a lot of different things and different demands that it's like, okay, what does intimacy look like when we're not like running around the house naked?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, but also what does free time look like? What does relaxation look like? Once upon a time when we were younger, the weekends were meant for, let's get in the car.
Weekends were made for.
Get in the car, going and doing things. And we were running. Now, this month we're running. But we've slowed down some, not a lot, but we've slowed down some. And we have to be okay with that, because I'm like, Bray, I'm tired, or he's tired, and I can't get attitude because he don't want to do something, or I don't want to do something, and we're fighting. Well, I only came because you wanted to go, or it has to be a mutual understanding or a mutual agreement, and we have to be okay with what the other person says. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there has to be some kind of agreement. There's always that yielding. The Y in crazy stands for yielding. Yeah, but we also have to be compassionate about respect the needs of the other individual. But some of those things you said that should fall off. I think expectations. What do you think needs to fall off?
Fall off from you?
No, just
not listening to me. No, I'm playing. Kind of like you said, what detrimental expectations that you've had, that you grew up with, that don't fit into your household.
Like, what's an example?
The woman does all the chores.
What? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was my outside voice.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll just watch you eat your food from now on. Okay. I won't eat any. Then you wonder why. No, I'm playing. I won't poison you. But no, just the gender roles. How we grew up. That's the woman's job, or that's the man's job, or that's you have to be able to, or you should be able to, be cohesive in that whole ebb and flow. I never took the garbage out when Lovey and I, in our marriage, but when he started traveling more, I had to start taking out the garbage. I remember the first time I was supposed to take it out, I forgot. And he came home he was like, oh, you put the garbage can back up. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? It didn't go nowhere, and he's like, babe, you're supposed to take it out, and totally forgot about it. So now I'm more cognizant of, I know when the garbage goes out. I know if he's gone for a number of days, don't leave it sitting down there, because I've done that too, where the garbage can went down and we just drive by and we come home and, oh, shoot, the garbage is out there. We got to bring the trash can up. So just what our expectations are of his duties, what my duties are. And even it's not just us, because it's a whole family of us, right? What are our expectations for our family? Because our families affect our marriages too. So we can't just be, it was just about he and I. We are at the top, but there are other people in the home to consider.
True. It's funny. You were talking about the leaves falling. And again, we're using this time of year as an example. But what also happens in this time of year is there's rain. There's snow, depending upon where you live. There's a replenishment, if you will. When I think of rain, people are like, oh my God, I can't go out and do this, that, and the other. I love the rainy season. It's like, Eddie Rabbit. I love a rainy night. I love the rain. But I think the rain is it's one of those things that gives life as well. I think that, when they talk about storms, people focus on the negative. Like the storm came in and destroyed everything. But some storms and some rains are meant to wash things away as well. Yeah. Or provide new life. Think about my garden. It's like when it rained the other day, I was like, oh, this is great. I don't have to water the garden. because it brings life, it brings sustenance. Water is one of those things that we need. But I think that it's also an opportunity when it comes to replenishment and renewal. There might be an opportunity to learn new things, to actually, get into a renewal of the relationship as well in this particular season. There might be something that has been lacking. And trust, I mean, if there's something that you probably should be doing that you aren't and you avoid, that means that there's something that you want to stay in your comfort zone. Best things happen when you get out of your comfort zone. Now, it sucks as you're going through it, as you're developing a new skill, as you're learning something, as you're trying something new. But once you get into it, you're better for it. Even if you decide, you know what, I really don't like this. After doing it, you're better for it because you tried something new and you flex that muscle of getting out of your comfort zone, because everything that is worth doing ever in life is on the other side of some form of discomfort.
Well, I mean, and to your point, trying something new, you may find that you like it, and therefore you've set a new tradition, So last year we had said that we're going to be, for Thanksgiving, we're going to be traveling, and that's going to be our new tradition. Unfortunately, this year we weren't able to do what we did last year, but my mindset is that just because I'm home, I'm into staycation now. We can deck this baby out and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So don't close the door on everything. Maybe set some new traditions. And like you said, the replenishing part, that rain washed stuff away. Now I have new ground. Now I can build again, and I can make the foundation stronger.
No, so true. And I'm still thinking about gardening, because when you actually turn the corner and you go from fall into winter, and then you get into, that springtime, there's a pruning that takes place as well. Or maybe, I don't even know when pruning takes place. I might. You
need to go prune right now.
I'm thinking I'm supposed to be pruning right now that you mentioned it. Yeah. But I mean, there's a pruning of things, bad habits. We talked about letting some stuff fall off, but there might be some people that need to be pruned. They might take inventory of your relationship, right? Your marriage. And then take inventory of the people that surround your marriage. If you really had to really think about all the individuals, if you listen to Myron Golden, if you listen to any motivational speaker, everybody out there from the time of the very first motivational speaker to now, and when I say motivational, it could be Christ, it could be anybody. But when you take inventory of the people that are around you, that's generally who you're going to become. Or it's either going to elevate you to another level, or it's going to stagnate you wherever you're at. And it might be time to really take a strong look at who you surround yourself with. Who are the people? And I was going to say,
go ahead.
A clue is, if you're going to have a Christmas party, or you're going to have a holiday party, or whatever it is, any kind of festivities, who are the people that you invite to the list, and who are the people that you're like, yeah, they're cool, but I don't want to invite them to this. The moment you get in that hesitation phase, you need to ask yourself, then why are you associating with those individuals? Because time is finite. You don't have a ton of it. And realistically, you shouldn't be wasting your time with those. And I hate to say that. There's a time and a place for everyone. And maybe their time has passed, and the place was in the past. And you need to really focus on who is going to be beneficial to my relationship, my family, all the things that we're trying to accomplish and that we aspire to. And surround yourself. So it's not about just getting rid of things or getting rid of people or moving away from the past, but that also means that who am I going to surround myself? What am I going to gain? Who am I going to bring around me? What am I going to, like the rain, replenish our relationship with to ensure that we're being fed?
Right.
Perfect example. We're going on a trip that, I know, she keeps trying to jump in. But no, we're going on a trip this upcoming weekend with an amazing couple that we met. They were speakers. They were speakers at our conference earlier this year. And these individuals are people that we're going to be hanging out with. We love going out to dinner with them and doing different things. And it's exciting. So
the other thing, too, I was going to say, be intentional, but also be unapologetic. When you're being intentional about what you're doing, and there may be some people who get offended, whose feelings may be hurt, who don't like the new changes or what have you. If it's not something that is beneficial to you, or they're not benefiting your relationship, or there's growth. What is that? A growth mentality, growth mindset. Then be unapologetic about how you cut them off. I mean, don't be nasty about it, but be unapologetic in the way that you go about receiving joy, finding joy with each other. We love, everybody, tell everybody, I love, and I love hanging around couples that love each other, who love each other. So I always wanted to just be like, let's find some friends that get along great, have great relationships, and let's hang out with them. And that doesn't mean that when we get together, we don't talk about some of the challenges that we've had. We share in the knowledge of how we overcame some things. So,
and we learn from the other couples.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I think we all, like, as iron sharpens iron, we as couples should be sharpening each other. If you have no married couples that you can hang out with, it's time to I feel like, this is just my personal opinion, it's time to reevaluate yourself and what your goals and your morals may be. Or reevaluate those people that you hang out with. Like, because maybe you're hanging out them. What is that? Because you're familiar, because they're part of your comfort zone. You can't stay stagnant.
No, that's true. And if you feel like, I don't have anybody like that, again, go to your
y'all,
app store.
No,
So you can go to the app store, you can go to Google Play, and you can download the Married Into Crazy app, where we have a community there as well, where you can start to meet other people. They don't have to be, I mean, we say proximity, but since the age of Zoom and Teams and you get on the computer and all, there's relationships that can actually be built, and I guess rapport that can be built as well. They don't have to be your next door neighbor. You can actually learn and benefit from other couples, and they don't have to be geographically right there next to you. Mm-hmm. So there's different methodologies. Don't let the fact that you don't know somebody right now stop you from deciding that, you know what, I deserve that too. I should. Our marriage deserves to be sharpened by other couples.
And if you want to meet some couples that love each other, come to the marriage conference. I have a very good friend, my sis. She met another couple. They met, her and her now fiance. They met another couple at the retreat, and they hang out all the time. So like-mindedness.
Yep. And look, and just so you know, I have to throw this out there too, that when you register for it, it's not just for married couples. It's also for those long-term committed couples. Some magic happens. We've got two people that went to they were long time committed, and they went to the conference, and now this year they got married as well. And
there's also another couple who went to the conference as boyfriend, girlfriend. Now they're engaged. So
I mean, that's enough plugging for that. But
just saying,
the seasons do change.
Never enough plugging. What are you talking about?
So we're talking about seasons changing, and the season of long-term commitment to, as a couple, to finally jump on the broom, tying the knot, getting married. That's a season in itself. Mm-hmm. But know that every single year, seasons are going to change. It's going to happen in your marriage, and it's not something to be feared or to be looked down upon. It's something to be revered and excited about. We've been married 28 years, going on 29. And I am definitely, thank God, not the man that she married.
Me too. I think I'm.
And she's not the woman that I married.
No.
You're going to evolve. You're going to do these things, and you should welcome those seasons. There's always going to be something. It's like a Cracker Jack box. Wake up every single day. I have no idea what she's going to do.
I have no idea what he's going to say.
No.
But like he said, things change. The love changes. It could change, but it also changes to give way for something more deep, for something deeper, and that comes by making different shifts. Sometimes you got to pivot, checking in with each other. The check-in is so important. It doesn't have to be anything major, but check in. Are we good? Are you good? Is there anything that we need to talk about? And if you ask that question, please don't get upset when the response is yes, there is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to be open to it at all times. Mm-hmm. Look, we're not going to belabor the point. It's one of those things where look at the season.
I want to belabor. No, I'm playing.
If I'm going to give you any homework assignment whatsoever, it's to really sit down and take an audit of your relationship and ask each other, what season do you think we're in? Mm-hmm. like, are we? Is this a warm? Is this a warm season in our relationship? Is this a cold? Is it a hot time? How are you feeling about our relationship? And is it something that I can be doing? If you feel like it's cold, what can I do to help warm it up?
Ooh.
Or if it's hot, it's like, sometimes it's a little too hot. Okay, what can I do to cool it down? You want to seek that balance to where it's comfortable, right? No matter what the season is outside, when you step indoors, you want an environment in which you're going to feel very comfortable and be able to live.
Inviting. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and inviting. I like that, warm and inviting. Mm-hmm. So have that conversation about where are we at in our relationship? What kind of season are we living in? And honestly, where do we want to go? Mm-hmm. So until the next time,
be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovey can bless your marriage directly.